In the previous video, you had a quick tour of the Smoke user interface just to familiarize yourself with the basic layout. Let's rewind back to the very beginning and start Smoke for the first time so that you can go through the process of project and user creation. The first window you will encounter after starting Smoke is the Project and User Settings window. Here you will find 4 headers. Host computer is the system you are working on. This option only comes into play when you are working across multiple Smoke systems and remotely logging into them. But for almost all scenarios, you can ignore this option. The storage volume header tells you what storage you are using for your current project. If you are only using a single media drive as your storage volume, then this option will be grayed out. However, if you have set up a multiple storage volume, then you need to select the one you want to use with your new project. Please note that the projects are tied to the storage volumes they were created on. When you select and open a storage volume, you will only see the projects that were created on that particular storage volume. If you wish to access clips or sequences from a project that was created on another storage volume, you will do this within Smoke via the Media Hub browser. Now that you know what storage volume you are working on, let's create a new project. Under the Project section, click New to create a new project. This will bring up the new project settings. The first thing to do is click in the text box and give your project a name. The name has to be unique from other projects on your system. Remember to press Enter to confirm any typing you have done. The project settings define the default resolution that your project is working at. Think of it as a template. All internal sources and sequences generated in Smoke will be created with these initial settings. For example, I will choose to create a project at 1920 by 1080, and I'll set the color bit depth to 10-bit. You can also specify whether the project is frame-based, which we call progressive, or field-based for interlacing. Sequences and internal generators for colors, bars, or video noise will be initially created at those settings, but they can be changed at any time. However, media imported into the system can be any resolution, and you can easily mix resolutions and frame rates. The project settings simply give Smoke a starting point if you know the resolution setting of your final deliverable. But don't worry, most things can be adjusted during your session. Let's continue. The 16-bit float option tells you that all processing will be done at 16-bit float point precision. So for all compositing operations, everything is normally upsampled to 16-bit to ensure the most optimal image quality during these processes. You should never need to change this setting. Next up is the configuration template. This refers to the running frame rate of the project, as well as what resolution will be fed out to your external broadcast monitor if you are using one. The easy way to read the profile is that anything before the @ symbol is your broadcast monitor resolution. The numbers after the @ symbol are normally the playback frame rate for the project. So for example, since this project is 1920 by 1080, I will use an HD profile. A 1080 signal will be sent to my broadcast monitor, and I will tell my project to have a running frame rate of 23.976 frames per second. This does not affect the clip's actual frame rate, but rather the playback speed of Smoke during a session. Now, the other aspects of setting up a project is to tell Smoke what your intermediate format is going to be. This refers to all the project-generated media, such as renders and local copies, which are stored in this format. Other applications refer to this as optimized media. You have a selection of formats you can choose from, including uncompressed. In this instance, I am going to choose ProRes 422 as my format. Obviously, you should choose a compression format that your storage can handle. Finally, one last option you have before committing to a new project is proxy creation. This option is off by default. When enabled, Smoke will create smaller versions of your media, enabling you to work faster in certain circumstances. Please be aware that this does eat up your disk space as well as increase processing times as new media is generated. So you've set your project up, and clicking the Create button will create a new project into the Smoke project database. It is now accessible from the Project pop-up button. To create a new user is pretty simple. Under the User section, click the New button. All you need to do is enter your name and press Enter. You can also choose from a variety of keyboard shortcut profiles. Please use the default Smoke profile, as those are the keyboard shortcuts that I will be mentioning throughout the course of this video series. Click Create User. So now you have a user and a project, and you can press the Start button. A final word on projects and users. You can switch projects and users at any time without having to restart Smoke. Remember, the project settings refer to your default resolution settings for the project, and your user keeps track of your bookmarks as well as keyboard shortcut assignments. In the next video, we'll dive right into the Media Hub and start importing footage into Smoke.